Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 18 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Naomi Chavez. What up, girl? And hey to your little baby daughter. Oh. Okay, so Naomi wants to know, how many pets do I have? That's a great question. I know you guys see a lot of them and hear them in the background all the time. So I have 2 dogs, Flash and Lucy, and then 2 cats, Homer and Gaston. There's Lucy. Okay, so Naomi also wants to know, what do I think about other YouTube channels that cover Big Brother? Well, that's a great question. I really enjoy, let's see, I like On the Block with McCrae and Spencer, but Spencer's not on anymore, which sucks, but McCrae still does a good job. He has a lot of cool guests, like Jason Roy is on all the time. That's a lot of fun. That's if you're into more like the longer format podcasts usually. And then I also like Reality Room podcast with my friends. Sorry. Chris and Paul, they're awesome. I've met them a few times in person and they're really cool, so you guys should check them out too. And other than that, I don't really have a lot of time to watch other people's Big Brother videos, unfortunately, but I know there are a lot of other ones out there, so let me know in the comments who you guys watch besides me. Okay, and if you guys want to be house guests today, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in the house. That's my brother. Paulie is really into being naked lately. We saw it the other day. He was playing a trick on Paul when he got that red alert and he had to pat everybody down again. But last night, Paulie was making a pie and he decided, you know, I'm going to pull down my shorts and I'm just going to wear my apron with nothing under it. So he had his booty hanging out in the back and like, yeah, he's got a nice butt. But like, what? Why are you doing this? It's almost like he figures, you know what? I'm going to be out of here soon anyway. I may as well try and get some sort of like fitness modeling thing out of it or something like that. But James was telling Big Brother, like, you gotta do a red alert now. And they did. So Paul had to pat down a naked Paulie yet again. That's sexual harassment in the workplace. Okay, but anyway, Paulie was campaigning to James in the Tokyo room. He did end up putting his clothes back on a little while later. And he was like, yeah, I want to talk to you and Natalie together because I need both of you, but I know that Natalie's not feeling good right now because she's got the neck thing and then she's all like, bleh. So he's like, I'll let her rest. I'll just bother you. So Paulie's like, I'm going to tell you how it is right now. Nobody's really targeting Natalie, but James, you are a target, you're a threat. People are going to come after you, and I can be a meat shield for you because if I stay in this house, I'm going to be the biggest target. You got all these other people coming after me, except for, like, Nicole and stuff. But anyway, he's telling him, like, to keep me in the house, man. Don't tase me, bro. So he's also saying, use me as a weapon to take out Victor. And he actually said this, let the 2 Goliaths battle it out. Oh my god. And then you can get rid of me after I take out Victor for you. Okay, so then Paulie's telling James, I don't want you to think that I'm going around the house trying to make this deal with everyone. I'm only coming to you and Natalie with this. And then if I get you 2, then I'll just have to come up with something else for the 3rd vote. Like, I'm not going to do you like that. I'm not going to try and make a deal with everybody to stay in the house. Sure. So James is just like, alright, I'm going to have to talk to Natalie about it. Meaning, no! Okay, so last night there was some freaking fun times, man. Victor, he was having some fun with Corey's eagle puppet, Baldwin. That is not a euphemism. I mean the puppet that Corey's had his freaking hand up his butt all week. Okay, so Victor was feeding people with it. He would like put people's forks in the beak and like, it was hilarious. And then he put on this little show. So Baldwin the Eagle was demanding money from James. Apparently he lent out some money and James didn't pay him back yet. And he was like, you need to pay me back, mother effer. And he said, I'm gonna get my baby girl to shit on your car. And it was just really funny. It was a good time. And I'm wondering, can we get Victor to like guest star on the puppet shows next season? By the way, if you guys haven't been watching the puppet shows that we put up, check them out. We have a lot of fun making them. We put a lot of work into it, and I think like maybe you might enjoy it. So give it a look if you haven't been watching them. Okay, so back to the game. Everybody, by the way, was eating that puppet show up. They were loving the eagle. It was great. So then James and Natalie were having a strategy chat, and James is like, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot right now. He thinks that if Nikori were to win the next HOH, that they would target Paul and Victor before one of them. So they feel like they're in a safe spot right now, and of course their own alliance is going to go after Nicole and Corey. So he's telling Natalie, I just want you to rest your neck so that you feel better. I want you back at 100%. And Natalie's like, well, I don't want people to think that I'm a princess for lying around. There's Flash. And he's just like, Natalie, you're my princess. Oh, James. Okay, so then James is asking, if you were to win the next HOH, who would you go after? And she's like, Nicole and Corey, of course. She's not going to take the easy way out and go for someone like Michelle. So she is really focused on going for them, and Corey would be her target. But she's not sure if she's even going to be able to compete in the next competition because her neck's all messed up. So then Natalie is like, you know, I feel like even though this sucks, I'm really lucky that you've been in this house with me and you've been taking care of me and doing such a great job. And she's telling James, like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fight through this. So, yay. Okay. Last but not least in that conversation, James lets Natalie know he's ready to stir the pot. He's going to tell Corey how Paulie's been campaigning, and he's ready to see those two freak out a little bit. Alright, so last night, for a majority of the night, there were these two separate groups hanging out. So in the London room, you've got the two showmances and Paulie. And then in the Safari room, you've got Paul, Victor, and Michelle. So pretty much like both groups were just chit-chatting about nonsense the whole time. But I think it's just interesting to see how it broke down. I definitely think that Natalie and James are more with the other group. But you can see that Paulie and his crew are trying to pull them away from the other three. Okay, so just a little, you know, it's interesting to see who people are hanging out with. So then Nicole had enough of hanging out with other people. So she and Corey go back to their lair in the Tokyo room, and she's freaking out because she knows that Paulie's been campaigning and people are acting a little bit weird, especially James. James has been throwing in these, you know, these little comments here and there to try and freak them out, and it's been working. Something about like Paulie being a have-not next week, and they're just like, wait, Paulie's not gonna be here, right? So like little things like that. So Nicole's like, I'm gonna start playing dirty, and Corey, there's no way you're going home this week, cause like that would suck, and it can't happen. So then she's saying that, wait, I just have to say though, I think Nicole's version of playing dirty just means like just playing the game. But she's planning on reminding Michelle, like, Paulie's gotta go because if he's here next week, there's a good chance that he could get the next care package and he'd be really dangerous. She thinks that he would have a good shot because he could have Cody, Derek, and Frankie's fans all voting for him. You never know. It could happen. But I think, you know, people are really like, ugh, we can't vote for Paulie, even if they are a fan of those other three. So Nicole's also pissed that Paulie keeps talk blocking. Nicole and Corey can never get time alone with the people who are voting this week. So they're a little bit worried about that. And then she starts talking about James again, and Nicole's pissed that, you know, it would really suck if James flipped on us again and voted you out. And she's like, I'll never talk to him again. No, she didn't say that. But she was just like, meh, he sucks. So then she was saying that James is trying to be America's guy sweetheart, and this is ridiculous. She's like, but I think you are, Corey. Ah! I'm just gonna leave it at that. So then she was also crapping on James for saying that he's from Texas when he only moved there a few years ago, and Corey's lived there for 25 years, his whole life. What does it matter? Like, why is that a big deal? I don't know. But anyway, it's time to move on for some PP action. So Paulie was campaigning to Paul. Are you serious? He was asking Paul, do I have a shot to stay this week? And Paul's just like, Paulie's asking him, is there any chance I could get your vote? And Paul is saying, I'll throw you a vote if that's what other people are doing. It's not. But Paulie's telling him, I need one more week in this house for my sanity. I cannot go to the jury house yet. And Paul is telling him straight up, you're going to have to come up with a better argument than that. Thank you. He says, how shitty would that be? It's not really fair to Corey if we vote him out and end his game just so that you could stay in the house for another week. Like, that's not going to fly. So a little while later, Paulie's campaigning to Paul again, and he's like, I don't want to be in the jury house without you or Corey. Oh my god. Stop. Just stop. That might be even worse. So then Paulie is saying again, like, if you keep me, I will take a shot at Victor for you. You can't be the one to do that. That would look really bad for you. So, like, you need me to do it. No. So then Paul doesn't really shut him down, but he also doesn't say that he's keeping him. This is all part of Paul's plan to make it a little bit, you know, a little unclear who is going this week. So this morning, Paulie was campaigning to Natalie. Same stuff. Use one comp beast to take out another comp beast, meaning Victor. And Natalie's just like, my neck really hurts. Bye. Okay, so then James and Corey were chatting in the kitchen, and this was ridiculous. Corey was like, hey, doggy, do I need to be worried for tomorrow? And James is like, I don't think so, but I just want to let you know, like, Paulie's been campaigning, and he's going to ask Nicole for a sympathy vote. Like, he thinks maybe he'll be able to get 2 votes and then, you know, kind of rope her in with that sympathy vote and just lock it in. And Corey's like, well, are you going to vote me out? And James is like, nah, man. Texas honor. But is James really from Texas? So then Corey's asking, well, like, what about Natalie? What is she doing? And James is like, you should talk to Natalie because I don't tell her how to vote. She makes her own damn decisions. And Corey's like, oh, okay, so, like, I do need to do a little bit of campaigning, huh? Yes, when you're on the block, you should probably ask people for their votes, right? Okay, so then Corey goes and tells Nicole about his chat with James, and he's like, yeah, James said that I'm good this week, but that I should talk to Natalie. And Nicole's like, oh, you're fine, like, Natalie's gonna do whatever James says, so, like, it's fine. And Corey's like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, so I felt really weird when James told me that I should talk to her. Yes, maybe to Nicole and Corey that would seem weird, but, like, some people actually make their own decisions, okay? So, anyway, tomorrow night is the next eviction. Either Paulie or Corey will be going home. At this point, it's looking like definitely definitely Paulie. But you never know what's gonna happen. This is pretty much set, though. But I'm wondering, like, is anybody gonna get up today? I mean, these people, I feel like they've been drugged. They've been sleeping throughout the day, like, the last few days. It's really weird. But there hasn't been much going on. I think they're all just exhausted from Paulie, honestly. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is there any chance that Paulie could flip this? And until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.